Today, I felt drawn to do a Pisces style spread. Again, this isn't necessarily about Pisces itself, but just, and it could be too, but just also maybe more about the fluidity of things. I will try to make it look like a fish. And we'll start with what depths of things we should descend in, and then how we should eventually rise from that, and then what it looks like to kind of ruminate over anything we may or should have changed, and what happens after that. Oof, okay. I'll leave that there. All right. Wow. Okay, this knight is already looking back at past actions. You can't see his face, his expression. Not sure if you can even hear what his thoughts are, but you can see the frazzledness. And once upon a time, this person was more like a strong leader, a king who people saw for the wisdom and kindness and strength. But that might have been a longer time. Or maybe even this person is thinking about a former leader or father figure who encompassed that. And as you go deeper, you see the Queen of Pentacles. So the outer top layer is more masculine, and diving deeper, we start to see more of the feminine aspect. This is interesting because it's Pentacles is money, and we were asking about Pisces sign, and so far you kind of go from, well, there's a cup here, but you kind of go from, I get more air from this though. You kind of go from the fire and air, like the topper service, the rise of like masculine in a sense, but they're looking backwards versus the feminine, and this one is like kind of looking forward or the presence. This is more like immediate too, not even too far, because you already see like something sort of like a blockage or something. And this one is kind of looking at what is right in front, just kind of how she is, and what is this blockage, what's happening. The Hangman confirms that. If you see it ties all this together where it's getting more, this is out in the open, it's getting more narrow and enclosed, and you can't escape. So you look back, oh, that's so sweet. These two are the child, looking back at former hopes and dreams. That's so funny. It's mirroring. Okay, so this was her before she became the queen. This was her thinking of being fair, being of service, being angelic. So similar, this mask is here, and these two are unmasked. We're seeing what's happening. Yep, that little boy is sort of like, this reminds me of Batman. And Batman eventually has to be like that Dark Knight, which is funny because of this knight here, and ends up having to conceal his identity. Again, the hidden. Oh, this is so sweet. So if we go back before, oh, it's so crazy how much this really mirrors. This was the frazzled mind of Kurt, but this is the past mind where like anything is possible. You know, you're so new and naive and innocent, and your thoughts are like so much bigger than you. Ah, that's such a sad card. This is like both the cards of wanting to return before the struggle and the war. I don't know why I feel so sad, but I do. And I already saw this card at the end when I flipped it, but it's the death card. And it's strange because death is usually about the transformation, but oh, did I expect to feel so much grief? This is the death of the self because of how many reds there are here. Even here. And it's like having to go through this dark night right now without knowing where the outcome is. And having the mind retrace what you thought about and what led you here beforehand. I'm debating whether to draw more cards or not because I feel like I need it. Wow, why did this hit me so hard? Let's use this. Maybe I'll need a little more light. Ooh, that hit so fucking hard. Let's start with 3 cards first. How do we see the light? What can get us to go forward? Mind, body, and soul. What do we need? Oh. Do I need mirroring cards? Okay, good. Much better. That was harsh, you guys. Okay, first is the rest from all these thoughts. Have some tea, have some nesting, have some clean up your house, clean up your affair, clean up your thoughts, clean up your mind, clean up your environment. And, get away from all this. I see this as both ways. One, it could be people attacking you, like making noises, but also don't get confused with the ones who are causing the problem versus the one who are helping to take your blinders off. So don't forget your friends, because maybe you've been isolating from them because you couldn't handle the other people. And this kind of like reminds that at the end, they're kind of like the death thing, at the end of the tunnel is the light, and it is a climb. It's a steep climb, but the great reward is whatever the star was, and there is, again, that happiness with friends and family, and you returning to the stronger person before you become the empress and queen and all of that, the temperance and queen combined, and where you no longer are worried about being attacked. Like, you can be out in the open and protected. Like, this is a bubble you do yourself that others can't see, and you're out in the daytime versus hiding at night. And you see, like, now these sticks, they try to pop you but can't, and they can be used as props to prop you up versus having these swords, like these daggers, to protect you. And again, feeling the protection again, and trusting universe and the stars and all that again. I'm not content to leave it as, because this is hard when you just say trust the world, like it's coming full circle, it's closing, because it's almost there but not quite. So what else can we look at? find another deck really quick. Actually, I feel compelled to this. Let me draw just a few more cards. I like this one. It's moving forward with the good stuff, looking for the next positive, or even just allowing, especially this one feels like it's sinking. Allow it to sink. It's still saying, trust in divine and God, and, the judgment is not for you. It's not to say that the judgment is for God either, but it's to say it's not your call. So don't worry about that. Again, focus about yourself, focus back on your dreams, focus back on why you started this journey. And I love this next one. This is, again, seeking the good again, seeking your purpose, your mission, your sight, going back to that. And this is nice, like I said about the birds earlier. Was it this one? Allowing help. There's 2 different types of, or even 3 different types of birds. No, 4. See, there's so much you can discover. This one's much greener, much lighter. And yeah, just kind of waiting to come out on the other side. I know that's hard. I felt that. That was so deep. That was so hard. I will leave it at that for now and just take care. I will take care of myself. Oh, that was harsh. Thank you guys. Bye.